If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine, and maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them, from disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're listening to the Who is Christine Anyway podcast season 2. Today's guest is Ryze Hendricks. Enjoy.
I am super excited today to hop on this podcast with all of you. I'm joined by Ryze Hendricks here. You all know him from the Weird Bars series on TikTok. If you have not, you will just nonstop laugh. So go check those out too. But we're going to get into the conversation. So Ryze, a lot of people don't know you're an upstater.
Man, you know what? It's crazy, but I know a lot of people who do know I'm an upstater though, because in a lot of my videos, I have the Buffalo Bills hat on. So when I come back to Buffalo, you know, they recognize me everywhere, in the mall, when when I'm in the grocery store. So I think a lot of people do know I'm from Buffalo. I don't know. I don't know.
There's a lot of Buffalo. Well, I mean, there's a lot of Buffalo fans, and for good reason, realistically. I mean, if you think about it. But the concept, like the people up, I don't say up here, like I'm way up north, like I'm like Southern Canada. You're like Garbage Plate Town. I'm like Poutineville.
Yeah.
And we're dividing the state, like what's upstate? Like I'm poutine, he's Garbage Plate, down here is hot dogs and pizza. We're having that conversation. So yeah, I think that's amazing that you go back to Buffalo and everybody knows that you're from here. And it's I mean, you did a talent show in Kentucky. You got into music at 9. That would have left you here in Buffalo still, correct?
I was still in Buffalo, yeah.
So what like tripped you into it and got you into it? Because that's really when it started for you, was about age 9.
Yeah, you know, I've always just been a creative person. I always loved to create things, like from an early age. Like, rest in peace to my mom. She would say, you know, if she was here, she'd tell you, like, I could make a perfect circle when I was 2 years old. She'll tell you that. You know what I mean?
I still can't, and I'm 37.
Huh?
I still can't, and I'm 37.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I can't now. So I guess at 2 years old, I was a better artist. But
I would question that. You're phenomenal.
I've always been into the creative arts. You know what I mean? And I always loved music. So when I was 9 years old, me and a couple of my friends, we would just be in my basement rapping. You know what I mean? Of course I wasn't serious. I was just still a kid, but it was still just something just fun to do. And yeah, we would just put on like instrumentals and just rap and freestyle. Like me and my good friend, my boy Dave, shout out to my boy Dave. He's light skinned, I'm brown skinned, right?
Right.
So I don't know if you heard of the group Crisscross.
Yes.
We thought we was crisscross growing up. I was the brown skin one. He was the light skin one, and we both had braids. And yeah. But so it started at an early age. I've always been into like creating, and I kind of dabbled with it up until like high school. Like me and my friends in the neighborhood, like we would just, rap on karaoke's, make little mixtapes and stuff like that. But I never took it serious. I was more serious into like athletics, you know what I mean? But it didn't get serious until I got to Kentucky, that's where I attended college.
Yeah, and you did the talent show there, and you were, your mixtape almost like kind of became like, I would say wildfire for lack of a better term. It was like one of the most talked about things on campus that was anticipated as a release. And since,
Yeah.
I mean, you and I are relatively close in age. I'm 37, you're not far above me. So in the early 2000s, when Fruity Loops really kind of took a grapple on the world, did you play with that at all? Or was it just, did you guys find your beats somewhere else? Is it something you guys were making with instruments? What are we doing?
I mean, I knew a bunch of producers that made beats. So at the time, when I first started, I didn't know what any of that stuff was called. I was just into writing. I get the beats, I write to them, go and record them. So I didn't understand Fruity Loops and all that stuff at the time. But
It was fun to play with. It was just one of those things that was like you could get on there, and it was almost like when, I don't want to say the start of the digital revolution, but when people started realizing that you could create on these platforms like Fruity Loops and all these other things, it was interesting because then almost everybody was doing it. But I know that it was like right around the early 2000s that it almost became mainstream, for lack of a better term. What athletics did you do? What were you big into?
What? Say that again.
What athletics did you do?
Oh, I did basketball, football, ran track. That was all in high school.
All right, what'd you run in track?
Oh my God. Triple jump.
Okay.
Triple jump, the long jump, the high jump.
You were a jumper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, and real quick, fun fact. The name Ryze actually comes from how high I could jump. My friends would call me the high riser because I could jump really high. So when I got into music, I needed a name, so that's why I came up with Ryze. Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, your birth name is on the internet, but it's good. I like your birth name too, Walter, right? Walter, yeah. That's a real nice name. It's so classy.
I can't stand Walter, but I like Walt. I like when people call me Walt.
Walter.
Yeah.
Like that don't, when you said it like that, it sounded so like a soggy dishcloth, like Walter. Like I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something about the ER on the end of that. Walter. I don't know. Yo, I met somebody and he was like, he asked me what my name was, and I told him my name was Walter, and he was like, Walter, that's a great American name. And I was like,
I'm sorry.
So from that point, I was like, no, just call me Walt. Just call me Walt. Just call me Walt.
I really I feel like if you went by, I have never felt compelled to walk up to a human and be like, I bet you have Werther's in your pocket, Walter.
Yeah.
I just feel like a Walter would have Werther's, and it's like, that's a great American name. And I'm like, really?
Yeah. So
that must be crazy. Do you miss upstate?
I do. I mean, I go back and visit, because I got family up there. So I always love coming back to upstate. It's just getting, even when I'm driving and getting close, like, it's just something that comes over me because it's like, yo, this is the birthplace. This is where everything started. The arts, everything I'm doing right now, it was instilled in me in this city, so it always feels good coming back to Buffalo, man, and seeing all my friends that I grew up with, went to high school with, it all feels wonderful.
I love that for you. And we're just about ready to get pounded by a snowstorm. Do you miss that?
No. Y'all can keep that up there.
I don't want it. I just don't fucking want it, dude. I just don't want it.
Keep that snow up there. I mean, I'm in PA, so we get some snow out here too.
Buffalo is like next level.
But yeah. Buff. That's different. That's different kind of snow.
That comes down and it just comes down and everyone's like, that's beautiful. And it's like, check back in 2 hours later and they're like, is it still beautiful? It's like 6 feet deep now. And it's lake effect, so it's cool. So you have original music too. You're obviously known for the Weird Bars series.
Yep.
Which I can't even get through it without laughing. The Cher one. I'm sorry. Oh, so funny.
Oh yeah. That's okay. Hold on. I gotta explain this. Now the Cher one, that's actually part of a different series. That's not Weird Bars. That's this guy.
Ah, that's right. Real gangster.
Yeah. And his series is These Lyrics Did Not Match the Beat. So
that's true.
Yeah. So
you've got a few things going. You've got like systematic branding of like 3 or 4 different products. And do you do it by yourself or do you have a team?
By myself.
You're a goddamn genius. You're a genius.
I just So Real Gangsta, his whole thing is, as you see the art, the producer and him argue back and forth because the producer's like,
your face It's like
He's
the
like,
mouth
yo,
shuts and the subtitles come on and you don't need to talk. It's funny.
that's what helps sells it. It's the
Mhm.
producer's face. You know what I mean? But yeah, so Real Gangsta, what he does is, he takes like records you don't expect, poppy, happy records, and puts the most gangster lyrics to those. And the producer's like, no, bro, no. Like, your
Yeah.
typical gangster beats in hip hop is the classic West Coast sound,
Yes.
drill music, trap music. That's where you hear gangster rap. So he's doing gangster rap to Cher, Britney
It
Spears,
works though.
Taylor Swift. It was only meant to be funny. It
It
was meant to be funny, right? And it
yeah.
is funny. It is funny to people. But in the comments, I started seeing fire emojis. So, like, yo, this works. This is fire. Yo, we need an album. We need an album from Real Gangsta. Where
Yeah.
you gonna put an album? So I'm like, damn, all right. It was only meant to be skits and meant to be funny, but people just they loved it so much and thought it was fire that I couldn't help but me and my producer, shout out Jerome, we had to put an album out, and it did well, did great, still doing great.
It is great. And it's funny though, is I think, sales is, getting things out, pricing, getting out, but the marketing is the story behind it and the story that goes along with it and all that stuff. So when I hear about you and this other, because I imagine, of course, I'm on the other side of the music industry. So I'm behind this, I call it behind the stage. So I know that there are producers who have to do exactly what that producer has to do. Like they're like, this isn't you just don't gangster rap over this. But it's not always just gangster rap too. It's like, we're gonna put these lyrics over this metal song. And it's just like, I'm sorry, what? Like
Yeah.
it just kind of, so it's so relatable to a degree. And the content that you've made, even in the multi-brands, and it's amazing too, because you have Cameo. Guys, go to Cameo. I was dying at the example videos because that is just like, fuck flowers. I want that. Like that's just the best. It's funny, it's personal, and it's really a great way to how you've marketed and branded yourself. But
Yeah.
the stories behind it and the realism that people don't understand. So it's relatable to everybody. It really
Yeah.
is. And it's also got to be some sort of sensation for you to know that you are affecting. And when I say like an entire generation, you literally made people laugh during probably what was, the darkest time. People are sick. People are, and it could have been anything in their life going on.
Yeah.
And you just pop up, and it is impossible to not love your content. It is impossible to not laugh because it is so just, sometimes it's completely relatable, but it's also, if you don't want to think about anything, it is so unrelatable. It's just amazing. So how does that feel being you, knowing that, I mean, like, I don't want to say measly people like me, but anybody is finding these, and it's like, I was just having the worst day ever, and I found this video, and you got to check it out. He is so funny. And then you trip into your other content, and it is so like just good. The quality is so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, see and that's the thing. That's what made me really want to keep going, because when I first started, okay, the pandemic hit, right?
Mhm.
We're in a pandemic, everybody's in the house, and I'm going crazy because I'm used to being out and performing, I'm used to being out on stage. Thank God I invested in a home studio and learned how to use it, because now I'm stuck in the house and I can't perform, I can't do anything. So I put all that energy into these videos. And like, I guess when I first started the Weird Bar series, it was just me just having fun. Like me and my small group of friends, we all fucking goof. Can I curse?
Oh, curse you're good.
Right.
It's totally
All right.
chill.
All right, yeah, we're all fucking goofballs. You know what I'm saying? We're all goofballs, and we do
Yeah.
like little silly stuff like this. So this is the type of stuff me and my small group of friends laugh at. And I was just sitting there thinking like, yo, this would be so funny if I just take popular music and flip the lyrics and make the shit the weirdest, oddest shit, and I'm gonna play the producer, and the producer's gonna react to it. So when I started putting the videos out, when I was gonna make it into a series because I knew it was gonna be fun to do, but I had no idea that it was gonna do what it did. It was just something fun to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when I start putting these out, I just started seeing how people was reacting to them, and I would say like the first 6 or 7 Weird Bars videos, I had gained 200,000 followers. And
It's
I was like,
impressive.
oh, I'm like, yo, what the hell is happening? And I started reading the comments, and I started seeing, getting DMs, and people were saying like, yo, man, like I was like depressed today. And I just go to your videos, and it just uplifted my spirit. It made my day better. And something like that just make me go, yo, I gotta keep doing this because I'm actually helping people. Not only is it fun, but I'm helping people. I'm lifting people up. So it just took over me. It took over me. Just kept doing it. Kept getting more feedback. Yo, this is getting me through the pandemic. This is really helping me. Yo, like,
Are you thinking about marketing at all through this, or are you just kind of like, I'm gonna make another fucking video, I'm gonna keep making videos? Like, are you just jamming along, or are you like, I've got a plan?
that's what I'm saying. It wasn't really a plan.
It was just willy-nilly.
Only
It's
the
good to go.
the only plan was to make it into a series because I knew it was gonna be fun. That was the only plan. I didn't expect to, like, I think, what is it? It's 221 Weird Bars videos.
There's a lot.
When I started this, I was not thinking about I'm gonna do 200 of these. No, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm gonna make it into a series. I know it's gonna be something that's gonna be fun, but I just went along as people was giving me more feedback, and the followers were coming in, and you know what I mean? Then we start monetizing and being able to make a living. And from there, it was just like, okay, then it became, oh, I see what this is. All right, I can market this. This is a way for me to keep getting myself out there. People can see my face. And you know, I know I'm a serious artist too. I make serious music too.
You have
So
some originals, your viral singers. Let me see. I Gets Moolah and Heat versus Bulls, right?
yeah.
Is there? And I know you have Spotify. Shout out to Spotify. So we need to follow you there.
Right. Yeah, you can follow me on Spotify. Ryze Hendricks, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
you're everywhere. You're well done.
But you know, putting these videos out there, and you know, all the followers coming in and enjoying the videos, then I started to see like, okay, we could package this whole thing into this is Ryze. You know what I mean? This is Ryze.
You need to write a book.
Yeah.
You really should.
I thought about it. I thought about writing a book.
You could write a couple. You could write one called Real Gangsta and like go down that road, and then you could just call one Ryze and go down that road, because that's essentially what you've done. Is you have, for lack of a better term, used a situation that made you into a phoenix. Like everything had gone to shit, and then you rose right from it. So I mean, hey, maybe you knew more in high school, jumping over those the high jumps and the long jumps. And I have one of my daughters does all the jumping too, so I get it watching them. I'm like, how do y'all's knees take that shit? But you're phenomenal. You are. And
I'm suffering now. I feel it now on my knees. All these years of jumping, yeah.
Your check knees light came on, my dude.
it done caught up with me.
I actually have a story for you. So and this is actually kind of an interesting one, because I personally wanted to tell you this myself. So further north, Watertown area, above Syracuse, Watertown, New York. We're still in New York.
I've never been there, but I mean, I know Syracuse, obviously. But
right, I would go around and I teach, marketing seminars that are usually free to the public. I just believe that knowledge is free. It's what you do with it that's important. And if these smaller artists, I'd never cared about genre or anything, knew what to do, then they could go better. It was free, and just people could come, show up, learn about brand sustainability. So I've been at this for like 23 years. So, and it came across my desk probably about like, I don't know, a couple of years ago. Your name did. I had already found you at that point, and I was watching it, and he was a young kid from up here. And, the rap culture, the hip hop culture is, it kind of, you know, you're going towards Canada. So it's really not that prominent, but he cited you as being one of the reasons he continued going. He's like, this guy just takes things, and he goes, and he was actually utilizing his own writing skills, and he was listening to the fact that you were using, I'm going to say, uncommon beats and bars and stuff. And he was turning around and he was mixing and pulling and playing and doing all these crazy things. And he was like, I love how this guy has shown me that I can take whatever I'm writing and I can maybe potentially, you know, because it is about rhythm and flow and understanding that and, you know, everything else. But he cited you as his inspiration. And it was just one of those moments where I've continued to follow him. He wants to be quiet now because he doesn't want ever all over his place. So I told him I would just talk about the story. But he's like, if you ever get a chance to talk to that guy, tell him thanks for getting me through the pandemic and showing me something new. Because I think it's masterful in its own sense that you've been able to take sometimes other genres, sometimes weird things. And he's like, I can take and pick and piece this together. You really show a versatility that is not commonly discussed in the hip hop community. Yes, I know it's like, it's funny, it's satirical, it's comedic, but that takes versatility as a writer and as a musician. The musicianship is phenomenal that you're displaying.
Yeah.
And that conversation has happened a few times. I'm like, you go here, you go do this, go do something. And they just come back and they're like, I can't. And I'm like, exactly. It's a level of talent that is, it's impossible to surpass you. You're on a movement. You're on a rise. Go figure. So it was, you know, I sometimes, especially, you know, even myself, I don't understand the awareness of the content people have and the value of it on the internet, you know, and it takes one. That's the one phrase that I've always been told. It takes 1 minute for someone to see you. It takes 1 minute for one share, one like, one comment to completely change somebody's entire life. One concert, one event, one eye contact with that person. And when you were set out on hip hop. Did you ever set out to be, I mean, obviously you guys were, you know, fooling around, like having fun. You know, I think it's hilarious. I'm a very dark humored and I just think laughter is just medicine in its own right. So
definitely, most definitely.
Now I've seen thugs just want to have fun. I think I saw you performing on a stage in a YouTube video. And I'm like, Cyndi Lauper, can we get a little mix, like, you know, like Pitbull jumps on things. Can we get Cyndi Lauper in here?
Yes. Super viral. That performance was actually in Kansas City. And
so funny.
I didn't Kansas City. Oh God.
How'd you go to Kansas wearing a buffalo hat? No, I'm sorry. Know, right? I did follow the football.
I know. I mean, they won the Super Bowl last year, so it was like they whatever. But that was in Kansas City, and performing that song, I didn't know. Shout out to my boy Kid Jewel. He's a rapper who opened up for me that day from Kansas City, and I didn't know he was recording. So he posted it to TikTok and tagged me, and I went to the video and I seen that it had like 3 million views in like a day, and I'm like, oh snap, oh shit, let me see. And before I know it, it was everywhere. And a few of my like favorite content creators, they reposted it to their pages. Like Gilly the Kid. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but Gilly the Kid, he's from Philadelphia. He's crowned like Philadelphia Eagles #1 fan. Like he ran out with them at the NFC Championship or something like that, something crazy. But anyways, he reshared it to his page and they got a bunch of hits and stuff like that. So
how'd that feel? How'd that feel as a fan to be seen by a content curator that you like?
It felt amazing. Just humbled by it. Like, yo, thank you. I DM'd him like, yo, appreciate it, man. Appreciate you sharing it. He folled me back and everything. So it's love.
Did you fangirl?
Love. Yeah. Fangirl a little. And you know, because I've been following him for a while, so it felt good. It felt good. He's doing his thing, so that felt really good. So yeah.
It's so amazing. And it's, you know, you said you don't have a team around you, which is, it makes you DIY, completely DIY. I really would like to see play in upstate New York, but I'm biased, like further up, like north, Poutineville. So it's kind of one of those. We'll wait till it gets warmer. I'll deal with you. I'll make a deal with you.
Yep.
I wouldn't want to come up here right now. I think we're supposed to get like 10 point something inches of snow tonight. So,
Oh God, really?
yeah. And I'm up like out of the snow belt. So I don't even.
Shit. You know what? I should start looking at that because I'm going to Buffalo Sunday. I'm actually coming up there Sunday. So
It'll be cleared by then, I think.
yeah. What's today? Wednesday? Yeah. So
Yeah.
hopefully get that shit cleaned up because I'm not trying to drive in that shit, man.
It takes a level of skill to do that. And what's funny is I'm like, you put me in a city and I panic, but you put me in like a white knuckle snowstorm and like all my friends that come, from wherever they're coming, whether it be like California or whatever, they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, relax. And like the car will slide and you're like, it's cool.
Yeah.
And you're just like flying all over the road. So there's like a level of enjoyment in that, but also at the same time, like, please clear the roads. I don't want to die.
Yeah, no, for real.
Keep listening for the next part of this episode with Ryze.
Visit www.whoischristineanyway.com for access to all the social media links and additional podcast episodes.